Hello, everyone, and a very special welcome to the press conference for the 2021 Diriyah E-Prix, the opening races of season 7 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. So exciting. Cannot wait to change this virtual backdrop for the real thing very, very soon. And we've got some special guests with us here today as well. His Royal Highness Prince Khalid bin Sultan Alfaisal, the chairman of the Saudi Automobile and Motorcycles Federation. We have the CEO of Formula E, Jamie Reigle, here with us virtually as well, and the founder and CEO of CBX, Carlo Boutagy. But before we kick off our discussions, we're also going to be taking questions from the media. But to kick off today, please take a look at this video to learn more about the 2021 Diriyah E-Prix. And we also have some special welcoming messages from Saudi Arabia to the world.
Greetings from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. 2020 has been a year of challenges for Saudi and the whole world. But under the leadership and the wisdom of the custodian of the Holy Two Mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, and the Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, and their limitless support to the sports sector and the kingdom, we managed to overcome these challenges and ensure that sport events live on with the highest standards of health and safety measures, while continuously communicating with the global federations and organizing entities to host global events that amuse the world. Formula E is back to Diriyah as the opening race of season 7, and to mark a world first as the first ever night race in the history of Formula E, on February 26-27, the whole world will yet again watch the kingdom host global sporting spectacle under the guidance and support of our government, one that followed every detail and offered all the leadership and support needed to ensure all logistical and health measures are applied at the highest global standards. Despite the ongoing challenges that the world is facing due to COVID-19 and its huge impact on the sport industry. Hosting the race at night and utilizing the best available technology to ensure its success is a clear evidence that our leadership gives sport the utmost priority and shows the close connection between sports and the sustainable future will be headlined by clean, renewable energy. It will be a historic race. I am confident of that because of the unlimited support of our Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz, and the efforts of the Ministry of Sports led by His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al-Faisal, and the collaboration from all organizing entities. February 26 and 27, the historic Diriyah is electric and will shine as ever under the night lights. Together we will achieve another milestone in the world of sports, added to the many achievements that the kingdom has accomplished under Vision 2030. We look forward to welcome you all soon.
Salam alaikum to our friends all over the world. Welcome back to Diriyah, and I am thrilled to say that we're looking forward to our third running of the Formula E, and the first time ever at night, which is historic. But coming out of the COVID, we have to give praise and thanks to the custodian of the two holy mosques, His Majesty the King, and our dynamic Crown Prince for their leadership in keeping us safe, and certainly in the excellent hosting of the G20 that the Kingdom did so successfully this year. I would also like to give thanks and praise to our wonderful His Royal Highnesses, Prince Abdulaziz and Prince Khalid, for their leadership and to bring the Formula E back to Diriyah. We are delighted. We can't wait to welcome everybody back. We've made so much progress in the challenging year of 2020, but with the good news with the vaccinations, if we stay diligent, wear our masks, keep the social distancing. We are not only going to have a great race, we got so many great things to show you to welcome back. So we can't wait to welcome everybody all over the world. Thank you to all our friends at Formula E. Thank you, Prince Abdulaziz. Thank you, Prince Khalid. We love you. You're the best. What you're doing in sport is energizing the whole kingdom, and certainly we're proud to have this prestigious race at night at Diriyah. So all are welcome. Welcome back. Only one Diriyah, year 3, first race at night.
Wow, some spectacular scenes there, something to certainly whet the appetite, and some touching words as well. Thank you for the welcome. I think we're all anticipating a very historic start of the new season, especially as we're welcoming Formula E's first ever night races to the championship. But let's start with Your Royal Highness, Prince Khalid bin Sultan Alfaisal, the chairman of the Saudi Automobile and Motorcycle Federation. Your Royal Highness, just tell us how much of a catalyst for change for sport in the kingdom has Formula E had since 2018, which is, of course, when we first came. It's the third time that Formula E is returning to the kingdom. And how do you see its role evolving?
Hello, Nikki, and hi to everyone. Sports plays a big difference in any society, and especially in Saudi Arabia. The Formula E race we hosted in 2018 was the second major sports event after the WWE. So for us, it was the first international race series Saudi Arabia hosted, and it was a game changer in many ways. A lot of things changed in Saudi Arabia. We issued the first electronic visa, so this was a game changer for us. We had to pick a special location, so we found a very lovely place in Diriyah, and we think that we succeeded in that. People used to watch Formula E and all the events on the TV, and now, thanks to the support of the Crown Prince, we brought the sports to Saudi Arabia for them to attend and enjoy, and also for the people from outside of Saudi Arabia to come and visit Saudi Arabia and share with us what we have, enjoy the lovely country we have.
Absolutely. I mean, it certainly is a really spectacular location, a World UNESCO Heritage Site. But just tell us, what's the feedback been from the international competitors and fans visiting the kingdom so far for Formula E? And how does it compare with the other sports that you've been hosting in the kingdom?
The feedback, thank to God, was I can say comfortably, most of it, 99% was positive, because a lot of people didn't know Saudi Arabia and our country, and they had for the first time the opportunity to come and see us for who we really are, and see our lovely Diriyah and the facilities we have in the city of Riyadh. So it was very good. They enjoyed it. They felt welcomed in Saudi Arabia, and also for the feedback of our locals and people from other parts of Saudi Arabia and from the Gulf when they visited, and for the first time to see an international world series, an FIA series like the ABB Formula E. So for them as also was very nice to see all the activities. It's not only about the race; it's about the vibe, the atmosphere, the all activation, all the side and sporting things that we did. So it was, as I said, again, it was a game changer for us in Saudi Arabia. And we were very happy to see the smiles of everyone that attended that first race. And for us in Saudi Arabia, it was a very special moment. Even our own experience was, and I can't describe how we felt. We felt happy, proud of what we achieved from the first time.
It was indeed an amazing spectacle. And this year, of course, is going to be bigger and better by introducing the 2 night races, the first time in Formula E's history to be racing in the evening. So I think this is the perfect time to introduce the CEO of Formula E, Jamie Reigle. Jamie, how are you? How's it been? We're so exciting to be going racing for season 7. But just tell us a bit more about the challenges and what really is involved when you have to organise a night race.
Well, it's great to see you, Nicki, and we're very excited to be returning to racing. And I want to thank Prince Khalid and his team, and Prince Abdulaziz, and of course the Crown Prince, for all of the support in bringing this awesome event to light. And it's interesting. My first event, I wasn't there in the first year that Prince Khalid was discussing, but my first Formula E event was last autumn in 2019, and wow, what a show! The integration of the race. The concerts, the music, in such a wonderful historical site at Diriyah, really spectacular. So then the question is, how can you raise the bar from everything that's already been achieved? And what's really special with this partnership is, there's a willingness to really push the envelope. And I remember my team in partnership, with all of the folks at the Ministry of Sport and in Saudi Arabia, was saying, how can we make this better? How can we raise the bar? And the night race was something that we clocked onto very quickly. This is not an easy thing to deliver. Many sporting events do happen at night, but obviously in an outdoor setting in motorsport, it's particularly challenging, but also leads to an incredible look and feel for the event. Formula E obviously has this angle around sustainability that's very important to us. So then the question is, how can we do this? How can we light up a city, a racetrack, and do so in a way that's effective and really a cool spectacle and a cool show, but also sustainable. And so we spent all of the last year trying to figure out how to do this, identifying the best technologies, identifying sustainable and renewable sources of energy to be able to light the track. So an enormous amount of work went into it. And I think that's a result of the quality of the partnership we have. And I think people are going to be really excited to see it next weekend. So we can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how the drivers get on. First ever night race. It's definitely going to add a new dimension and a new challenge for all of them, that's for sure. But Jamie, first of all, I think we need to say massive congratulations to you as well, because it has not been easy. It's not been easy for anyone to do anything at the moment with the pandemic, but you guys have obviously been working really hard to pull off a great calendar to look forward to this year. But obviously we're still confronted by some of the challenges around the pandemic. So just explain to us how hard it's been to secure this start to the season in the Kingdom. And I suppose what support have you had from the Ministry of Sport and SAMF to ensure that the season begins on firm footing in these rather uncertain times?
Absolutely. Well, look, I mean, we said all through 2020 as not just Formula E, but all sports entities, anyone in the live events business was, how do we deliver our product? And we said it's really important for us in season 7. We're the first. It'll be the first year where we're an FIA World Championship. This is a big accolade and recognition in terms of the quality of the racing. It's a recognition for the teams, the drivers, everyone involved in Formula E. How do we make sure that we have a season that is commensurate with that status, and how do we make sure that we deliver the Formula E that everyone believes in, right? It's a global championship, it's an electric championship, it's unpredictable, exciting racing, and we said we're going to try to put on a full season, and that's no easy feat given the current context. When you think about the challenges with the pandemic, of border closures, of COVID protocols, and so on and so forth, and we're really fortunate in partnering with the Ministry of Sport and all of the teams in the Kingdom supporting us and bringing this event in. It's without getting into the details, simply being able to travel in a way that is safe for the population of course, Saudi Arabia, is safe and healthy for our ecosystem of teams and partners. That in and of itself is quite an undertaking. And so, we've been able to do that by working incredibly closely and having that spirit of partnership. So we are confident we can do it. We put on events last year in Berlin under these protocols. This is a new challenge. I can't believe I wouldn't have believed this in August, that perhaps the pandemic would be not only continuing in February of 21, but arguably, despite the positivity around vaccines, still huge challenges and a health risk. And so we have to be incredibly responsible and incredibly respectful of the environments we race in, and that's absolutely paramount for us. So we're fortunate to have the partnership with the Ministry of Sport, and we're confident we'll be able to put the events on in a way that's safe and under the lights and looks good and is a fun show.
Well, thanks, Jamie. And again, huge congratulations to you and the team for pulling it off. I think we are all feeling very grateful to be going racing again and promise to deliver the fans some amazing racing and a very entertaining show to make sure the weekends can go back to normal and we can watch a bit of motorsport. But Jamie, we will be catching up with you in a moment. We've got some questions from the media, but now I'm going to move on to speaking to the founder and CEO of CBX, Carlo Boutagy. Carlo, thank you so much for joining us. And I just explained to us a bit more about the background, because of course the Diriyah E-Prix is really renowned for the innovation in terms of entertainment, and it's a real highlight of the sporting and social calendar. So what is it that you look forward to when you're delivering the third time that this event has come to Saudi Arabia?
We're looking to deliver a safe event for everyone here. So that is our priority. We have strict protocols in place that we're following, and that's our main priority. Secondly is to deliver a spectacular event, as you know, and Prince Khalid and Jamie mentioned earlier. It's the first ever night race. If you ask me personally, I think it's better to watch it on TV. So, because with the helicopter view and all that, it's much nicer. So I think it's going to be a spectacular event to watch on the screen for sure.
Oh.
We promise year on year. I know Prince Khalid was talking about the first year with the visas and issuing the visas, having the concerts, the first concerts ever. This event was more of a stepping stone for the kingdom to open its doors to the world. And basically, the second year, what happened was we did a double header. We were integrated in a big event called the Diriyah season, which was like a city all around with activations taking place for a whole month, concerts and everything. This year, the third year, is the night race, the new thing. What we're trying to do is grow this event year on year, adding something new. So it being a night race, like I said, unfortunately the fans are not here to watch it live from the Diriyah, but they can watch it on their screens, and it will be a spectacular event as a night race. So that's what we're looking for. Hopefully next year we'll have a new add-on that will add to this race. And we'll have the fans and a full-fledged event.
And Carlo, I've got to ask, when you look at the ongoing disruption to the calendars of other sporting series and entertainment around the world, I mean, was there a moment when you thought, I don't think this is actually going to go ahead. I think this is going to be too difficult to achieve?
If you would have asked me this question in August or September, I would have told you not at all. Everything is looking good. Numbers are going down. Everything is good. 4 weeks ago, asking me that question, and now, I was worried. We were stressing. There was lots of changes, peaks that we saw. But luckily, we're here today. We have our race taking place. We're very grateful and thankful for being able to actually host this event. Ministry of Health has been very patient and supportive with us, including Ministry of Sports and SAMF. We have a lot of regulations from Formula E, learnings that they brought from them from Valencia and from Berlin last year when they did the 6 races in 19 days. Plus all the learnings from the government here, and they've proven to us that they have no cases and have done a fantastic job over the year. And I'm grateful and thankful to be able to put up this event, even though it's not going to be able to host fans, grandstand ticket holders.
Well, thanks so much, Carlo, for speaking to us. Don't go anywhere, because we will be back with a few more questions from the media. But now we're going to go back and speak to His Royal Highness Prince Khalid. Prince Khalid, just give us a bit of an understanding, really, because since Formula E first came to the kingdom in 2018, I think, sport as a whole and motorsport in particular actually has really become part of the culture. What significance does Formula E hold for you and SAMF in establishing the sport here?
Formula E is really important for us, especially in circuit racing. It is the first circuit race that Saudi Arabia has hosted, and sports in general. We are a very young nation. The population of Saudi Arabia, 70% are young, from the age of 15 to 28. So sports in general plays a big role in Saudi, and motorsports as well is very popular. So bringing the first ever circuit race, it's a street race, but also as a single seater like a Formula E was very important, and we learned a lot of it. People, it became very popular in Saudi Arabia. I remember the first race we hosted, a lot of people weren't familiar with the cars, with the teams, with drivers, and now everybody watches the Formula E and know the teams and all the updates. So it's really important to Saudi Arabia and to the enthusiasts here who like sports in general.
Yeah, it's a very busy time for you. I mean, you've just had the second Dakar rally in Saudi Arabia, and I think later in the year, you're also hosting the first Formula One event in Saudi Arabia. So how have SAMF had to grow in terms of skills and numbers in order to, nurture this calendar of motorsport events? And what's it really bringing to the kingdom?
Well, as you said, we have a busy calendar, and also we are also hosting Extreme E as well, and first week of April. So, and they are all mega international big events. Formula One was the start, was the platform for us. We learned a lot from the experience with the Formula E. So now we are well prepared. We used to organize a lot of rallies in Saudi Arabia, but circuit racing is something new to us. And also by hosting the biggest rally, Dakar, we learned a lot. We had to grow our team. So our team grew by, let's say, 500%. We were a small team back then, and to organize and manage all these international mega events and to showcase the potential and the capabilities of Saudi Arabia, we had to grow very big and very fast, and also to bring in our team the expertise and the people that can train us and share with us their experience and know-how in the business, so we can become more independent and more Saudis involved in organizing and managing these races.
Clearly a big time for change and development. We now actually have questions from the media. We have a question from Hazel Southwell from The Drive and Inside Electric, and she would like to know, when we first visited in Riyadh in 2018, I think bringing an international motorsport to Saudi Arabia was part of a project to improve the quality of life for Saudi citizens. Is there a way, Your Royal Highness, to reflect or measure? How are you reporting on the impact that this has achieved after 2 years of events?
For sure, in the previous years and under the leadership of the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, and the Vision 2030, a lot of things change in Saudi Arabia to the better. We had our first international events. There is no segregations in Saudi Arabia. Anybody can come and attend all the sports, and they enjoy it. Is it families, singles? You can come and enjoy it. And as Carlo mentioned, we had our first concerts, where there's everybody that came and enjoy. So it was a game changer for us. People come and enjoy everything that they used to travel outside of Saudi Arabia to enjoy and experience. It came for them. It's not about, it wasn't only about sports. It's the new face of Saudi Arabia. And and as I said, if you see the faces, everybody was, I cannot describe the feeling, during the race, after the race, during the concert, everybody was happy. Everybody was celebrating. The joy on everybody's face, it's priceless. And you were there, so you witnessed this. So for sure, it improved the quality of the life, and also improved our services. As I said, was the first time we issue an electronic visa. Also, we had to change in our a lot of things in the customs. We had the free zone in the Diriyah, so even the process and our customs. So it improved a lot of things in Saudi Arabia, and I'm very honored and pleased that it started with Formula E.
Yeah, I remember those concerts really well. I mean, the atmosphere was just incredible. Everyone was having the time of their lives. It really was a very, very special moment in the history of the kingdom. So it was great to be part of it all. Now we have another question from the media from Didier Laurent, and this is for Jamie. Jamie, what are the challenges regarding the lights for night races, and how are you going to produce sustainable electricity on location? Interesting question. Over to you, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think there's two elements of this, or three elements of this, I should say. One is, as we touched on before, the spectacle in the show, and that really was the driving factor here, where we had discussions with our partners in Saudi Arabia and the kingdom, and said, how do we make this event bigger, brighter, better than it was before? And as Prince Khalid just outlined, the bar was already very high in that regard. And so, we spent a lot of time thinking about that. And we said, okay, well, the night race is something that hasn't been done in Formula E, and we really have to go for it. And, that starts with the, if you will, the ambition. Then there's a technical question around how can you do this? What level of lighting is required? I learned a lot more about what a luminaire is and different lighting technologies. And I'm far from an expert, but you start to hear about different measures of light resonance and whatnot. I'm sure Carlo is very familiar with all these technologies now. And then, as I touched on, the third piece then, of course, is if we're going to do this, Formula E is all about advancing the adoption of electric vehicles, moving toward a cleaner future, a shift effectively to a post-carbon world, at least as it relates to transport. And so it's really important that we're taking actions that are aligned with that overall vision. And obviously that bumps up against perhaps the ambition of lighting up a racetrack in the evening and putting on a spectacle. And so we spent a lot of time looking at the different sources of energy, and there was two things. So one was how do we make sure that the LED technology that we use, the lights we use, are industry setting standard in terms of the lowest energy consumption possible. And for those of you who've installed new lighting in your homes, you'll know that LEDs are more efficient than many other technologies. And then within LEDs, there are more efficient versions than others. And so we really are going with the absolute highest spec ones, which are roughly 50% of the energy consumption of typical light. So it's a major reduction. And then, okay, how do we make sure that the balance is sourced from renewable energies? And we looked at an HVO technology, which is hydrogenated vegetable oil, which is kind of what you would imagine it is. So it's made from vegetable oils and sustainable materials and recycled materials, and that will be used as, if you will, the power source, the fuel, and it is producing 90% less greenhouse gas emissions than other technologies. So, very low emission technology, and so we're super excited about this. Ultimately, the fans are going to care most about, the spectacle, the show, how the driver is going to cope under these new conditions, and we're really excited to partner with the kingdom to be able to showcase, the potential for electric racing under the lights. And then we feel confident and we feel good about how we're sourcing the energy, so that we can also, push the envelope on that front as well, which is something that's really important to us.
Brilliant, Jamie. Thank you so much. Now, our next question is for Prince Khalid from Scott Armstrong from Arabian Business. He'd like to know, can you unpack what Formula E means in terms of A, its economic benefit to the kingdom, and B, the economic opportunity for business in the region?
Formula E, it's not just a sport, it's more than that. It played a big role in our economy, and also, as I said, it helped change how we think and how we do business. Before Formula E, electric cars, they were not allowed to enter Saudi Arabia. And also it's for us to showcase that we are also think about our future, our sustainability, and we are one of the biggest oil we have one of the biggest oil countries, and we live in one world, and we need to make sure that we live and pass on, to the next generations. So it's not only about sports, it also gives business opportunity and opens up the tourism in Saudi Arabia. It gives the chance for all the international and local companies to can do business together. And as I said, it's a lifestyle. We see all these big countries and small countries host these sports and international events, not just because of the sports. So there's a lot of benefit comes from that. And now we are also the PIF, the Public Investment Fund. They invested in Lucid, one of the newest electric companies. So it changes the way we live, the way we think. It's not just a sport or a lifestyle. It's more than that.
That's brilliant to hear, just the impact that it's having beyond the racetrack, which of course is what Formula E is all about. Our next question is for Carlo. It's from Hamad Al Mahmoud from Sky News Arabia. And he would like to know, will the COVID-19 restrictions impact the number of races and teams taking part and the audience attending?
So COVID has had an impact on all events happening around the world, unfortunately. Here, the number of races that are taking place in Saudi will be the 2 races, the double header. As for the season, I know that Formula E has a plan of announcements throughout the year to announce the rest of the season, and they will do that in due time. As for the teams, we will have all 12 teams here. As you can see, I'm literally on the pit lane. The garages are ready and looking great. They will be all participating in the opening race of the season.
Thanks, Carlo. We do have another question for Prince Khalid from Sultan Muafa from Al Sharq Bloomberg. They'd like to know, how many teams are participating this season, and when are we going to see a Saudi team participating? Good question. Any breaking news?
Well, we have 12 teams that they will be participating in the next Diriyah FE race. And regarding the Saudi team, well, this is one of my goals, and a dream for me is to see Saudi teams participating in the international events like Formula E, like WEC, Formula One, MotoGP. We are doing good in rallies. We have Saudi drivers that they are participating and winning in international rallies, but we would love to see a Saudi team. We know that we had a couple of ladies, Saudi ladies, that they tested in the Formula E cars last year. And we have a Saudi lady also, Rima Al-Jaffari, that she races in the Formula 4 in Europe. So I think just maybe in a couple of years, when we have more drivers and we have more programs, and we will see, inshallah, soon. Maybe, you know, Formula E could be one of the first races we enter with the Saudi team. We used to participate in the Jaguar I-Pace. It was the support race for the Formula E, so we need to take it up to the next level, and we have good drivers, boys and girls, and hopefully, inshallah, the time will come soon to see them racing in these events.
Well, thank you, Prince Khalid. Now we have another question for Carlo from Peter Donnelly from Al Arabiya. And Peter would like to know, how popular are electric vehicles in Saudi Arabia, and how does the race influence the perceptions around electric cars? And of course, that's a big thing for Formula E, getting the message out there that electric cars are pretty awesome. They're not necessarily the slow, sluggish car that I think that was perceived when you thought about electric road cars a few years ago. They've definitely transformed, and the development on our roads has been amazing when it comes to consumer electric cars as well as the race cars. And what's the perception like in Saudi Arabia, Carlo?
So as Prince Khalid had mentioned earlier, before Formula E came to town, there was really no electric vehicles in Saudi Arabia. It's only after that Formula E came that they changed the rules and regulations to allow these electric vehicles to come in. Since then, we've seen the government embrace electric vehicles. As we know, Public Investment Fund, the sovereign fund of the kingdom, has invested heavily in Lucid, an electric vehicle manufacturer. And they are opening a manufacturing plant here in Saudi and Jeddah, actually. So really excited about that. Plus, we have these new cities that are being built. I'm sure you've heard about these giga projects. NEOM is one of the new ones being built, and part of Vision 2030. And they announced last year that in NEOM there will be a city called The Line, which is based on easy mobility and full sustainability. So as we can see, yes, Formula E came here 3 years ago. They are changing very fast. It's a big game changer for them. And they're embracing the electric vehicle and sustainability because they want to try and get away from that label that they have as being an oil country.
Yeah. Well, that is a great example, Carlo, and it's brilliant to hear how the cities are embracing the use of electric cars. Now we're going to have a question for Your Royal Highness, Prince Khalid, from Naif Al Thakil from Al Arabiya. The question is, 2 years into hosting Formula E in the kingdom, and how do you see the rising interest in the sport from the fans in Saudi society?
As I said, we're a very young nation, and sports is something that interests us, and we like entertainment. So there's one of the best entertainment shows, if I can say that, is motorsports in specific. People, they only know about rallies, and here because it is very popular in our region, and all the races we had before Formula E was only rallies. But now, after seeing the Formula E racing in Diriyah, people became more curious about the sports and the teams and about the electric cars. They started watching all these races, and as I said before, as well as they know now the teams, the drivers, so they got hooked to it. We thought that by announcing a Formula One race, maybe this will affect, but all the calls I got about people for asking me that they wanted to attend and come the race and buy tickets, but unfortunately, due to the COVID situation, we will miss them this year, but they can watch it from the TV. But they like it. It's racing. It's very close. You can see the fights between the cars and the drivers. It is an entertaining show, and it's a sport. And as I said, it's not only racing. It's a lifestyle. It's everything happening before and after the race. So they got hooked to it, and they demand for more. So let's see what we can do in the next race. Hopefully, how can we? We've raised the bar so many times. So we need to keep up the momentum and deliver what the audience want from us.
Well, thank you, Prince Khalid. And let's not forget how incredible the track is, of course. I think there's a unanimous opinion amongst all the drivers that this is one of the best tracks Formula E has ever raced on. There's so many tight twisting turns. There's a lot of undulation. It's just got all the ingredients that you want to have some pretty amazing racing. So we're very excited. Thank you again to all of the questions from the media, and thank you for joining us for this conference. Big thank you, of course, to our speakers for joining us, Your Royal Highness Prince Khalid, Formula E CEO Jamie Reigle, and Carlo Boutagy. We are very much looking forward to an event that we're not going to forget in a while, that is for sure. This is definitely one for the history books. Make sure you join us February the 26th and the 27th for the double header in the 2021 Diriyah E-Prix at night, of course, for the first time in the history of Formula E. Do join us, make sure you don't miss it. Thank you very much. And here is a little teaser to get you in the mood for racing.
It's time for season 7, and we launch in Diriyah at night.